My name is Josh. I'm going to be your guys' account manager. Okay? I work for a master agent based in Las Vegas, Nevada. We only distribute Cox Communications. So we're being considered a third-party group for those guys. Okay? So meaning that we're basically going to be the face of the company, offering all three services, starting from phone to internet to TV, basically all their customer needs. Okay? So this guide here is going to show you a little bit about what our prices show on the front cover. Just go brief through it real quick. The front cover shows all the regular pricings, which we're going to go over with the packages including. Flip it on to the next page. It talks about the equipment fees, the extra charges that might be added to the customer's account depending on what level of service you're getting them. Okay? Right over that, we're going to go over the calling script of how to call in an order. So whenever you call into Empyrean, which is our call center group for all your activations. All your activations are going to be by phone. Okay? And right over that is going to be your gift card. So there's going to be bonuses you're going to offer customers when they first sign up with you. It's something that it's going on to the end of the year. Okay? And last thing is just the 2-year contracts. So this is, like I said, briefly, until we get started with the other products. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started on our digital telephone. And excuse for the way I draw, sorry about that, little chicken scratches. Alright guys, so from Cox, we offer digital telephone services. For a majority of our products, there's always going to be 3 different levels of service. So it means that we have names for them starting at the starter, essential, and premier. So obviously you're working way, I'm going to actually reverse, but from the starter, here includes, it's only going to be local calling. Local calling, as you can tell, is no long distance. It's only 702 and 725 area code. The 725 is a new area code developed for Vegas, just because of the fact that they ran out of 702 numbers. So it's pretty surprising they did. Okay? And on the front cover sheet, you want to look at the bottom page, and it actually gives you the regular pricing. We're going to go over just strictly a la carte pricing today with no discounts. And then we're going to go over promotions, because that's something you're always going to offer a customer, is a promotion when they first sign up. So don't get alarmed about the big number. So with that being said, starter is only local calling. This is something that can get a service provided by itself. You don't have to get additional service in order to get help telephone. So it's something that could be by itself. This package here is worth $12.49. So in case you have that family member that needs to have a telephone line to have an emergency, just in case it's a backup, or has a security system, has kids in the house that need to get a hold of when they're at home, that kind of nature. Okay? Moving on down to the next product we offer is Essential. Our Essential is mostly considered our mid package for telephone. This here, the features are going to be only local calling again, but the difference between Essential and Star is that you get actual features, just a couple, not too crazy amount. You get call ID, call waiting, like when it fits so much on here, so refer to your guy at the bottom, and it gives a little bit more details on there. Because you do have the optional for long distance. For starter, there's no long distance optional. Now, when they talk about long distance, it is default automatically added on there. So if the customer does not want no kind of long distance whatsoever, but does want the features, you could get this package removed easily off the account whenever you call in an order. So keep in mind, with Essential, they can still make phone calls outside of Las Vegas, which could result in a charge per percent depending on where they call. Okay. Next part we're going to talk about is the Premier, which is the next higher product. Premier has always been considered one of our higher products on any level: TV, internet, phone. So with that being said, the Premier is actually our only package that Cox has to offer that gives long distance calls. So the long distance is actually nationwide, everywhere in the United States, including Canada and Puerto Rico, and the most recently included is Mexico landlines. So that's a huge target for our Hispanic culture. Because with this package here, they can call a limited amount of times as much as they want to the landlines only. If they do call to cell phones, it will be 10 cents a minute. But the rate will something we'll go over later. I'll get you guys a little rate card. So with the Mir, as you already know, it comes long distance, all these countries included. It does come with a lot more features. Like again, refer to your guide. There's so many in there. Call ID, call waiting, call forwarding, answer, select the call forwarding. There's just a lot of features that come with this package. So our main goal in Cox is always try to get the customer the higher product, but keep in mind we'll be offering them a good discount where they can bundle their services. Okay? So with the Premier Essential Starter phone, we do offer a modem. I'm going to put it over here in the corner. It's something called the EMTA. This is absolutely free to the customer whenever they sign up with us. There's no monthly charge for it. There's no fee for the modem unless the account is canceled, and that will result in a charge of $60. But like I said, they can use this modem for just telephone if they're adding additional services. Again, this one here is actually a universal modem. So this is actually designed to handle home phone and handle internet at the same time. It even has capabilities of having Wi-Fi inside of it too. So it just depends on what the customer needs are.
Okay, so between the starter and the essential, you said the difference is in the essential you get features.
Correct.
And then in the starter you only get like local knowledge.
Exactly.
And then Premier is the only one with long distance features, a lot more features.
Exactly.
And so it's the difference between those two, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
So for the starter, you're gonna look at $12.49. Essential, you're looking at $23.99. The difference is, of course, is gonna be the calling features. And you move your way down to the Premier, it's gonna be $34.99, but it's gonna include everything.
So in the Premier, you wouldn't get charged the extra calling fees for the calling
Exactly,
fees?
you won't.
Okay.
There are different packages that we offer too, if a customer does want to call internationally. So they call it Simply Worldwide. Now, Simply Worldwide is something you can add on, I guess you could say, to the Essential or the Starter, I would say. The Premier already covers this package. What Simply Worldwide does is discounts rates whenever you call internationally, like let's say El Salvador. You call it to Guatemala or any Italy, any kind of country. Because if you do not have Simply Worldwide on Essential or Starter, you will experience large amount of dollar amounts when you call per minute. So, for example, what I found out recently was El Salvador was about $4 a minute if you do not have Simply Worldwide. So, a customer's bill came out to literally $2,000. So, surprisingly.
That's an add-on though?
Yes, it's an additional add-on to any one of these packages here. Well, I'm sorry, for Essential and Starter only, not Premier. Premier already includes that. So with that being said, when the customer already makes those phone calls, let's say they come back to you saying, hey, I called international, using my Essential or using my Starter. This is something you can call over to Empyrean and add it back onto them. And also the customer can call customer service. They get backdated maximum 30 days. So that $2,000 is just literally drops to about, I would say, $200, maximum 300, depending on how long the call volume was. And feel free to write on these too. These are your guys'.
Okay.
Now, next thing we're going to go over is regarding the digital telephone. It's something called TPV. It's telephone verification. Now, TPV is very important whenever you set up a brand new account, especially when you're adding digital telephone by itself or if it's being in a bundle. Whenever it's a brand new account, even if you're porting a different phone number, this is something that has to be completed. Very important. So what this is an automatic voice note that verifies the customer through over the phone message. It just asks some simple questions. What is your name? What's your phone number? Your address? And do you agree to Cox services? It's a very brief message, and they have to be recorded as well.
Yeah, it's a pain, but it's a federal law now, third-party verification. So they say, do you understand E911? So if you call 911, that they know your address and they know where to come to. But everybody that gets any phone service, we just have to say, can you hang on 1 second? And you kind of prep them, because if they say anything other than the answers, it has to start all over again. Exactly. It's a big pain. So just tell them, say yes to everything, say their name, say their address, and do you understand how E911 works? And they say yes, and it says, welcome to Cox Communications.
So say they're just like transferring their service from one house to another, do they still have to complete it?
No.
Or-
It's only when it's a brand new phone number and new activation only. So even if you do transfer, there's been a couple times where they transfer the services, it develops a new phone number, and TPV still doesn't have to be completed. So with this, I'll be giving you guys a phone number at the end of this. I'll give you all your contact information for Empyrean, for TPV, customer service, basically all your point of contacts that the customer might need or you might need to call. So again, if TPV is not completed within that same day, maybe within a couple hours, they try to schedule within 2 hours, they will cancel your guys' scheduled out for the customer. It will be canceled automatically. They'll notate the account whenever you call to Empyrean in case you have any issues about what's going on, what happened with the customer. They always notate the account, the TPV. So if they can't get a hold of them, in case you might have forgot or it's just not completed, the sale will be not canceled, but just rescheduled. And that concludes so far Cox Digital Telephone. Is there any more questions you guys have regarding TPV or any level of service?
So basically, you could just add the worldwide calling to the Premier, or not the Premier, the starter, and have the long distance and the local calling. You just wouldn't have like features like caller ID and things
Exactly.
like that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And even if the customer already made those phone calls, you can add it onto their account and you get backdated.
Okay.
So this way you can avoid paying those high charges.
But that's something you'd have to specify when you call in the order, or?
Well, for the most part, if it's a brand new activation, just go ahead and add it on. It won't be a problem. But let's say if it's an existing customer, you saw them like about a month ago, and they assumed that starter would, or they assumed essential was long distance, they already made those phone calls. Because without simply worldwide, starter you don't have to worry about it, but with essential you do. Because with essential is a package that you have optional for long distance automatically. So let's say you call, let's just say El Salvador again. They got $200 bill, backdated, adding something worldwide, you cut that bill right down.
Okay. So starter, you can't even dial out long distance.
Exactly.
Okay.
If you add something worldwide, you will be able to, but it has to be done at the beginning.
I'd have to get you over to our customer service and they can help you out with that. You probably have to, so it says something about what the box, so.
That's when you guys are aware of something worldwide too, right? You guys have any questions about that?
I have to get you over to customer service.
How much better was the rate? Like you said, that El Salvador call was $4 a minute, and then once they add that,
18 cents.
oh really? It came all the way from $4 down to 18 cents?
Yep.
Wow.
Huge difference, like I said. That $2,000 bill dropped right down to a couple hundred.
Well, that's cool that they can backdate it. So
Yeah.
if somebody screwed up and didn't know, and then you can add it, and then
Yeah.
they fix the last 30 days. That's good.
Yeah, what happened one time was the customer was calling for past 30 days, so they had to pay for whatever was past 30 days. But we still covered it. I mean, we still saved like over $500. Alright, so we'll go ahead and erase this now. Then we'll go over the famous internet service.
Yeah, this internet is the fastest in Vegas. Like we sell everything under one roof, like CenturyLink, H2O Bolt. We were clear internet and all that stuff. So if somebody wants, if they say they want the fastest speed, there's no doubt about it. Like CenturyLink, they claim that they have 20, 25 megabytes per second, but it's very rare. Like you gotta type in everybody's address and it'll come back with either 1.5. I mean, the 10 is probably the most I've seen. Very rarely will you see 20 or 25, but Cox can go up to 150 megabytes per second. So, and you only need 3 megs to watch like Netflix, YouTube, things like that.
Is that where it's going to stop every 5 minutes and go buffering?
Yeah. If you have less than 3 megabytes per second, you'll see a little buffering. So,
You know.
plus
my
there's usually
dad-
more than one person online at the same time, so let's say you and a family member are both watching a movie on 2 different computers, you're going to need at least 6 to 10 megabytes per second. So when you have 50, like the basic one that we sell is 50 megabytes per second. So I just tell people it's plenty. So I try to get an understanding first of like how many units do you have, or how many computers, how many people in your household. And then I tell them $39.99 for 50 megs, and I say for $10 more, you get double that speed. You can get 100 megabytes per second. They just recently doubled it, because it used to be 25 megs for $39.99, so they just doubled everybody's speed. So with the 150 is really fast. So that's $75 a month.
Especially with everybody having smartphones these days and having them automatically connect to your Wi-Fi when you get home.
Right.
That's still considered a device. I mean, it's still
True.
connecting.
And some things really drain your bandwidth. Like I just added Dropbox to my phone and my computer and stuff, and while it's syncing all your files, I was wondering why everything's running really slow, but Dropbox was sucking up all the bandwidth, so it's good to have that extra. And now they came out with ultra high definition on Netflix. Have you seen Netflix movies lately? They're like super crisp.
I haven't checked them
So
out.
that sucks up like double the bandwidth. And then on Facebook, have you seen how like videos automatically load without the sound as you're scrolling down?
Yeah.
Somebody posts a video, it automatically starts rolling without the sound. So everybody was like cable companies were complaining about that because all the bandwidth usage went up, and then you don't get the sound until you click on it. So 50 is a good amount.
Alright, so with the Cox internet speeds here, as Mom was telling you, we do offer the fastest internet in town. Even our competitors, honestly, even with CenturyLink, good company and all, but don't offer as much speeds as we do. Their maximum was about 10, right?
Yeah. On rare occasions you'll see 20, but I'd say
So in selected
90% is
areas.
10 megabytes per second.
So with CenturyLink in selected areas, and with this here, you could get these kind of speeds basically wherever you want here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So if you, even Henderson, North Las Vegas, a lot of people try to get services in Pahrump. You cannot get services in Pahrump. Boulder City you can, but just not Pahrump. So with the internet service that we have here, again, you do have the option of getting internet just by itself. You do not have to have a phone line. A lot of people in the past have been saying how Cox, you have to get a digital telephone, you have to get your TV service. It's a good idea to get a bundle up, but it's not mandatory where you have to force the customer to get other services. So with the internet speeds here, this is something you guys are never going to offer, but it's something you guys have to know about. So the starter internet, as you can tell, is 1 Mbps down and 384 I don't know.
Kilobytes per second.
Kilobytes, I guess you could say. Because we don't even sell this, so I wouldn't even understand this, but it's 1 megabyte per second down, and that's basically the most basic package there is.
So even for
No,
grandma.
it's fine.
Bueno, menos mal que está usted aquí que habla español.
Sí,
Usted se da cuenta que yo compré la cajita, ¿no?
sí, sí me acuerdo.
Ahora me llegó, me la están cobrando. ¿La
¿La
caja?
caja?
Sí.
Okay. ¿Sin pesos, bro?
No, yo boté el recibo.
Okay. O sea, ¿trajiste el recibo del equipo? ¿O de cuál?
De ninguna. El técnico que fue, se llevó mi cajita, me puso una y ahora me la están cobrando.
¿Te llevó la otra cajeta
Sí,
que
la
compraste
cajita
aquí?
sí, la que compré aquí.
Okay, so issue is that the equipment he bought from here, he's saying Technician took it and then he replaced it with a Wi-Fi rental board.
Okay. He bought one from here and they took
Yeah.
it?
Because I talked to him last time he was here. He bought one from here. I remember because I was helping him out with his username and password.
Right.
Technician arrived, claims that Technician took the modem and replaced it with a Wi-Fi rental. So now the customer's being charged a gateway rental fee after he bought it from you guys.
Wow, yeah, they're not supposed to take it. Caleb, do you think you can take his info and then we have to shoot an email to Vicky and find out who that tech was so they can get the modem back?
And he switched it out, so I gave him a different one. So then the tech came back and took that one.
Yeah, he's not supposed to take it.
So me prestas
Yeah,
tu bill?
after he talked to
Big.
me, he came back
Yeah.
again, and I had to switch it out.
Okay.
Me estaban cobrando la instalación. El dinero de instalación me lo quitaron. Y me dejaron que 80 y algo de la cajita que tengo que pagar mensual. Yo le dije que no, que yo había pagado mi caja cash.
Si puedes, por favor, déjame tu número de teléfono, tu celular, y te puedo llamar porque necesito checar la cuenta más mejor, porque yo en mi oficina. So,
Ok. Déjame que entonces.
ahí está. Aquí puedes, aquí puedo tu número de teléfono. ¿Aquí? Oh, ¿me prestas tu bill? ¿Se me puede llevar? Sí, ok. De aquí
Sácame de
nomás.
copia. Por ahora se me lo podía sacar de copia.
I'll give you a piece of paper so you can write down some questions.
Si no, no, cargarme con el piso. Con una copia. usted se queda con
Este es el
nosotros.
más nuevo, ¿verdad?
Sí, ese fue el que me llegó.
Sí, llegó ayer.
Mira lo que me llegó. Pero ahí me contaron la instalación porque yo le dije, si ahí me dijeron que la instalación era gratis.
Ok. Yeah, instalación sí es gratis.
Y después, no, que la cajita, le pongo la cajita y la pagué.
So, déjame checar el sistema.
El señor que fue un blanco, un señor ya mayor, que es gringo. Y se llevó mi cajita y me puso una. Y ahora me la están cobrando. Me contesta el nombre de Mariel.
Alright, sorry about that. Alright, so back where we to starter internet, which is 1 megabyte per second. So from here, you want to move forward down to essential. Essential, this is, I would say, people that like to check emails, like to do very basic stuff, not doing too much. So they plan on watching movies, downloading music, all the streaming live, like say Pandora, stuff like that. This here, I would not recommend right off the bat. Like I said, it's only for checking emails, not doing the most. Okay? So it's 1 megabyte upload. Oh, do not put regular pricing inside. Now, moving to what we consider actually basic. Well, we don't consider basic speed, but this is a level of service where you want to start at all times. Just because of the fact that you want to always give the customer the best experience. So if they're running multiple devices at the same time, Netflix, Google TV, Xbox, that kind of nature, you want to do a minimum preferred, and this is the 50 megabytes per second, and it's 5 upload. So literally, what essential is a 5 download is our upload for preferred. So as you can tell right there off the bat, it's fast. Well, I was telling you, we just recently doubled our speeds, and we did on these 2 speeds here. So you might see in people's bills when they bring it to you, or in the past saying, hey, I have 25, they're referring to 50 now. This is for everyone. It automatically increased to 50, the speed, but we did not increase the pricing on this. And the pricing for this one here, $62.99.
You said that's Netflix.
Exactly. This is a package we always recommend starting them with and then moving down. If you have to move down to 5 megabyte, then do what you have to do. So the real focus on these, because I know there's a variety of plans. There's a lot here to focus on. So my suggestion for you guys is to focus on Preferred, Premier, and Ultimate, and nothing else. If they do ask you about it, then also inform the customer. But always try to leverage where the 50 can control everything you want. So if they set up services with you on the 5 and want to upgrade in the future to 50, keep in mind they will lose their discount, and they will pay these regular prices here. So at the moment of installation, before you do the order, or once you do the order, excuse me, that has to be completed with the right package. So it's very important. Somebody's skeptical saying, oh, I don't know, I want to try this one first and move up to 50. Let them know, I can do that for you, but you're going to lose your discount, and this is what you're going to pay.
So for being a new customer, that's what they get discounted, right?
Yeah, all the times. What we're going over right now is a la carte pricing, but I'm just letting you guys know on occasions where it happens a lot, customers are debating between 2 different speeds, put them on the right speed at the right time, and then, let them be happy with that.
Yeah, I don't even talk about the starter or essential. I just jump right into the $39.99 for 50 megs and then tell them, $39, $49, or $75, and just tell them 3 speeds. And the only hold-ups I get, this is like the easiest thing in the world to sell because there's no contract, free, usually next day installation. And the only thing they can really come back with is, oh, let me shop around or talk to my wife or something like that. And then what I do is I tell them that we sell every service in town under one roof and that this is the cheapest deal. I also say that we're so sure that it's the cheapest price in Vegas that if you can find a better deal anywhere else, we'll offer you $100. So I'll pay anybody $100 cash if they can find a better deal, and I've never had to pay it out. So that kind of puts them at ease, and they're like, okay, in that case, go ahead and sign me up.
Yeah, once we go to promotions, you guys have a better understanding of why Milan says that and why you guys offer a better deal than most people. So we'll go over that pretty soon. Okay, so moving on forward to the Premier package from the Preferred. The Premier, obviously, we double your internet speed to 100 megabytes per second, and the upload speed is 10. So with this package here, it's $73.99. So this is something here where people want to really stream a lot of devices at the same time. We're talking tablets, Xbox, PS3. A lot of downloading usage would be considered going under 100 versus a 50. Now, even though the download speed says 100 or even it says it's 50, sometimes people experience, depending on how many people are using it, their download speeds tend to go down, like averaging, let's say, about 80 on the 100 megabytes per second. But like I said, those are mostly for really people that actually use a heavy usage on the internet service and are concerned that maybe if someone else hops on, it might decrease the level of download. So 100 megabytes per second, honestly, is now considered the most user average versus a 50.
See, that's something I was curious about, because at one point in my dad's house, you had my dad, my stepmom, my brother, my sister, my niece, and then myself.
Yeah.
And we all have smartphones. They all have tablets. There's Wii's. There's like so many TVs going on. They have the preferred.
Yeah.
They were complaining about it being slow, so they tested the connection and said like they were only coming back with like 50 megabytes per second.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
or 20 rather. Sorry, how about it?
No, no worries. It's just because the fact that so many people are having usage on the internet service, so everybody has kind of dedicated speed, so it takes away from the 50. So
Right.
that's the reason why.
And they probably got it before they doubled it. So if it was 25 megabytes per second, so you're not going to get exactly. Sometimes it might show 22. I've seen 27, but it'll be somewhere around there. So if they did a speed test and got 20, that's probably why. Plus the network was probably clogged up while they did a speed test.
Yep. So for the most part, this is here something, if somebody's not happy with the preferred, this is only having a couple of devices. This is, we have, I would say, more than 8 devices.
So if you have a lot of people in your house and a lot
Exactly.
of okay.
So you always put them on a Premiere no matter what. If you go to preferred, I mean, I always advise them, like, look, the speed is good, but not fast enough for what the whole family wants to do. If you have that many devices, then right off the bat, start with Premiere and work your way to the Ultimate if you can. So with the Ultimate Internet, this is our highest speed that we have so far. We are coming out with a new speed starting January of next year, called the 1 gig down, something similar to what Centrelink offers. But for our launch, we want to make it official where we cover everywhere and not certain selected areas. Okay, so that's coming January, and for the Ultimate for now is at the 150. This is Mbps download with 20 upload. So this is for something if you have like a business at home, you're running from home. If you have like your own personal server kind of thing, you run your own website. This is mostly for our techs that people use at home. So with this package here, it's going to be at $109.99, and this is $110 a month for the highest speed. So if people want the best of the best, you'd be surprised. People just say, I want it, I want the best. And this is the package you're going to start off with by saying that. So sometimes it comes that easy for you. So any questions regarding the a la carte pricings?
So this is just like if you're upgrading or you're not a new customer?
It's for both, actually. Whatever anybody can do anything they want with packages as long as you're not locked into a 2-year contract. So if you are locked into a 2-year contract, let's just say the only thing you can do is upgrade your services, not downgrade. But if you're on a no contract, you just have services by itself, you can feel free to move around. We don't charge a fee for that whatsoever. We'll just downgrade the services and let it be. So if somebody has preferred, drop it down to Essential 5. Later down the road, you want to go Premiere. Their bill's gonna be a little bit jacked up just because we prorate them, so they're not gonna understand the bill too well. So with the inner service, we talked about all speed levels. Now we're talking about the equipment, because this is the most important thing that's going to change their bill if it is required. So a lot of people have Cox before in the past. You have to have a cable modem. So Milan has a couple of them back over on the brown boxes. You guys will be offering here to customers at discounted rate. Okay. So the same exact boxes you guys will have here, I'm going to talk about right now. These are called the Netgear. Let's see, Wi-Fi. So this is an all-in-one modem that we consider. Just because of the fact that it's a cable modem, it has a Wi-Fi router built inside of it. So it does best of both worlds. You can use a regular internet cable, or you can use it off of Wi-Fi, either or. It's automatically default secured, so it comes with a username and password. So right when the customer or hooks it up for self-installation or professional, it's going to be secured right away. Okay. This monthly rate charge here is $6.99 a month, and this is for a single band. What a single band is, it just means it shoots out one frequency. So it gives off, most people use a single band. You see like the username, you see the password, that just means it has one. So this here is $6.99 a month. You add this on top of their bill. So it is a monthly charge. A lot of customers do ask if they do rent the device, eventually if they do own it, they will not own it. So they've been with Cox more than 2 years, they're going to keep on paying the $6.99.
So if they want to buy it out the gate, how much is it?
I'll tell you right. It's $129 from corporate. From single. I'll explain right now what's a dual band.
It's like the one where it has like the normal and then it's like guest or whatever.
Exactly. That'll be the dual band actually. So the dual band here would have a guest. So meaning that it has 2 different usernames. So on one frequency it shoots off 2 gigahertz, and on the second will be a 5. So obviously if you're, let's say it's your home, you want to be using all the products on the highest frequency, you use a different username. For for people in the house that want to come in, say friends, come in and out of town, they want to connect to your Wi-Fi, you can give them a different username. So it won't interrupt your level of service. So you guys will also have a dedicated speed that's dedicated just for that one frequency. So let's say you have an Xbox, PS3, you want no interruptions, you want to run that one on the highest frequency, and people run their cell phones, their laptop, whatever it may be, you give them the other username, just so this way it doesn't interfere with your speed. So with that being said, the single band is $6.99, and the dual band is $10 a month.
Oh, I didn't know they rent the dual band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they rent the dual band for $10 a month, and the purchase price from corporate is $129 for a single band, and it's $150 with a dual band.
So that's if they want to get it from corporate, and what that means is that the technician will bring it to their house with them, whether they're renting it or buying it from corporate. What I try to do is save people money and say, look, if you come to our store, we have a sale going on, but they'd have to come into the store sometime between, the time they place the order to the time it gets installed, because they have to give it to the technician, but we sell it for $79.
And that's for the single band?
Yeah, that's for the single band, and we don't have the dual bands here. I'm going to get them soon, but so if they want to save some money, they can come into the store and pick it up. Sometimes people say, hey, I don't have time to come down there, can I rent it now and then later on change it? But they're always welcome to turn in that rented modem, because there's no contract or commitment to it. So let's say they want to rent for 3 months and then turn it in once they have their own modem, they can do that. But unlike DSL, where DSL is plug and play, cable modems have to be provisioned. So they would have to call customer service anytime they change their modem and just tell them the serial number, MAC ID, and the model number. And they have to, just like a cell phone, where they have to take the information, plug it in to get it going. Otherwise, it's not going to work properly. So whenever somebody calls and says, hey, my modem, it works for 10 minutes and then goes off, I mean, right there, that should tell you, it's probably not provisioned. And tell them to call tech support and make sure they have the serial number and MAC ID in their system correctly, and that'll eliminate most of those problems.
Exactly. And sometimes too, by the way, when we provision it, when you try and connect to the Wi-Fi automatically, it will refer you to register your account online. And you can actually do it yourself sometimes, but if it gives you an error code, then that's when you want to call customer service. So there's times you can actually do it by yourself. I learned from doing it on my own. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you can log into your account online and type in your own.
Let's say if it's let's say you hooked up a brand new modem, you already have an account. If you connect to Wi-Fi, it'll say please register your account. It'll ask you for your account number or your phone number just to verify who you are.
Oh,
Once
nice.
you validate, it will automatically provision the modem for you.
Oh, wow.
There's
Okay.
times though, I'm not gonna lie, it does give you problems just because of the fact that whoever gave it to you probably didn't register under your name, and that's why. Then you have to call customer service and they do it for you.
Okay.
So yeah. So like Mama was saying, they do take this equipment to your house. The technician will have it, a single band or dual band. They do keep extra ones with them, so just in case you want to upgrade, they'll upgrade it for you right then and there. But for the discounted rate that he gave you for the $79.99, it has to be here in store. No other Cox store is going to offer it because this is what they're going to be paying. Just like we have an incident before where they quoted them a pricing, customer assumed that they went to a corporate, they ended up getting a bill for $129 versus their pricing. So very important. Now, with these devices here, you could be purchased up front, so you could be billed, or you could break it down in 3 different payments. It's just depending on your credit. So the 129, if the customer qualifies with no deposit, you can break this down in 3 payments. Okay? So for example, the 150, add $50 to the customer's bill. So let's say they get the Premier, or the Preferred, excuse me, for $50 a month. Let's just say $50 plus 50, it's $100 for 3 months, and then it'll drop down to just the regular pricing, or promotion pricing. Sorry.
For the promotion pricing, is that for the life of the contract or just for a certain amount of time?
It's for a certain amount of time. Yeah.
So the ones we do right now, they're 12 months, so it's no contract, they can leave whenever they want, but the price is good for 12 months. And then they ask what it goes up to after that, and I usually just tell them we put them on our Google Calendar, and I say somebody will call you, and that's kind of like what I need your help with, is that we have so many deals from last year that we'll put you on our calendar and we'll call you at about 11 months and 2 weeks and just see, you know, what the best deal is at that time. Maybe we can convert them into a bundle and you know, put them into something different so they don't have to adjust. Because what's the price on Preferred after the year?
On the Preferred is $62.99. Sorry.
Yeah, so they don't want to jump from 40 to 62, so we try to prevent it before it gets to that point. So we have a stack of deals that we need to call and you know, let them know their promotion is about to expire and if they want to change to something different. So.
Now, this is something that is required for the customer if they're just getting internet by itself. So if the customer hasn't had a device from before, it doesn't have to be directly from Cox. They can be purchased at Best Buy, Walmart, here. Let's say if you know, someone else already bought a modem from years ago, they want to come back to Cox, they can use their own personal modem, and they won't be charged any one of these fees. So this is only, like I said, if it's internet by itself and they do not have equipment. So now with this devices here is leaning back to the EMTA modem. Now remember the EMTA modem was a telephone, right? But I said it was a universal device, so that means you could use it as an internet modem and also as a phone modem. So basically, whenever you add home phone onto the internet service, you qualify automatically for a free modem, but standard, okay? No Wi-Fi. If you add Wi-Fi, the charge, as you already know, is $6.99 a month. So, for example, let's say a customer, you know, has a wireless router, but obviously can't use it because it doesn't have coax cable, right? If they want to use their own router and get our services, add a phone line, get them a free modem, boom, they can use their own router. And they save themselves a charge of $6.99 a month. So the more you bundle, the more you save. Like that.
And a lot of people have a router laying around from a previous service.
Yep.
They're universal, so if you have a router with CenturyLink, or let's say they moved here from another state, chances are they have a router from before. So you can upsell them to internet and phone, or if I sell them the bronze bundle for 99 bucks where they get everything, one of the things I tell them is you get a free modem, but you just have to add a wireless router. So it's better to have a $25 router than pay $7 a month. It just makes more sense. And if they don't have one, we offer them here for $27, that wireless N router up there in the red box that can handle up to 150 megabytes per second. So even if they have the 50 megs, you know, it handles up to 150. So in the future, if they ever want to upgrade their speed, it can handle up to that. So I know me personally, I would never pay $7 a month when I can pick one up for around 25 bucks. So.
So do you guys have any questions so far regarding the single band or dual band, the cost of it or the rental? Or is it pretty simple to understand? Now, back to what I was talking about credit-wise, they do have to qualify, okay, in order to get this payment, break it down in payments for you. If they want the rental device, you don't have to qualify. You just, even if you have no credit or no social, whatever it may be, they can still go ahead and rent the device from us. But we'll require a deposit, which we're going to get into in a couple minutes here. So, since we're already on the subject of internet, let's just go over the promotion pricing real quick to knock it out. So the only discounted rates you guys will be getting is starting at Essential, okay? So you already know the regular price is $47.99. The discounted rate we have here is $29.99, and this is for 12 months. Now, this package here is locked in for 12 months. It's not a 2-year or a 1-year contract whatsoever. It just means that you're getting the price lock guarantee for that amount. So let's say they want to cancel in 3 months, 6 months, whatever it may be, they can feel free to do so. There's no early termination. Preferred, $62.99. This package here, it's $39.99 for 12 months. Okay, so the Premier is $73.99. You're getting a discount for $49.99. Now, with these packages here, none of them, even with a la carte pricing and promotion pricing, in Nevada, we do not charge taxes for the internet service. And then for the Ultimate, instead of paying $110, we give them to them for $74.99. So the discount rates are actually very affordable for customers. So if a customer is paying regular pricing, and if you see that they come in complaining saying, hey, my bill's too high, and they're looking to maybe transfer a customer or transfer to like a family member, they qualify again for the new discount rates, just so you know. Now, let's say, for example, if they're going to be renting a dual band with the Premier. As you can see here, they're paying $49.99 a month. You just add the extra $10, so their bill's going to come out to $60. So you just basically mix and match your numbers. You want to add on additional charges regarding rental fees on top of the promotion pricing, and just give it to them an example on their work order. Yeah. So, any questions? Erase this. So now we're going to talk about TV and then move on to deposits.